Well, everybody, Saturday night's main event is officially over, January 2025, and to me it was a pretty fun show, but at the same time, every outcome was expected. But overall, I had a fun time with the majority of the matches. Before we get into my review of Saturday night's main event, remember to hit the like and subscribe button and follow all my other socials. It really helps out the channel a lot. Let's get into this Saturday night's main event review. Before we get into the matches, Saturday night's main event kind of proved to me what it was. It was more like a glorified house show, SmackDown, or a Raw. It's something that you could skip if you wanted, but at the same time, as me who loves wrestling, I'd always continue to watch them. But it's kind of like one of those things where nothing really significant really happens, because it's like, we go to these shows, and don't get me wrong, this show was better than the last Saturday night's main event last year. Go to these shows, and every single person retains the title. Like, I figured some of them were obviously going to retain, but nothing new or something changed that happened. And it was just kind of like, really? You kind of poorly booked some of these feuds, and no changes happened, even though some of them should have happened. It's kind of like, I feel like they need to do something that's really big to really get people to really want to continuously watch and not see this as a predictable show that's happening, especially too since how close you put it to the Royal Rumble. It's kind of like some things didn't really match up and made a lot of things confusing leading into the Rumble as well. But we get into our first match of Rhea Ripley defending her title against Nia Jax, and to me this definitely was so much more better than their Elimination Chamber match. Even though I enjoyed that match, I really enjoyed this one. Great back and forth between each other, you know, all them pulling different moves. What Rhea Ripley playing at her Code Red, her Karana. Like, for me, it was just so much more fun. Both women looked very great with each other. They have some good chemistry, but I did really enjoy the gave Rhea Ripley a great start to her title reign, a great match that started. Plus, her already defending the championship gets to against a dominant heel like Nia Jax, and Nia Jax looking great in this match as well. I feel like the only biggest takeaway out of this whole match was one, how rushed it was for this match to happen. Secondly, it was just the tension between both women. There wasn't really a build-up of a feud. It just kind of randomly happened and they started feuding again. So I think that's the only thing that was missing, and like the ending made it look like maybe Rhea Ripley got the wind knocked out of her when Nia Jax landed on her. But they were able to complete the match, and I think everyone's alright. It's good. Nia Jax still looked good. Rhea Ripley still looked good. And it was a great way for Rhea Ripley to start her title reign. Rhea Ripley ends up retaining her title against Nia Jax in a good match. Then we get into Braun Breaker defending his Intercontinental Championship against Sheamus, and this match was amazing. Of course, it's going to be a banger of a match between Braun and Sheamus. They over there are great performers, great talents. Of course, it's going to be a banger of a match. It's a hard-hitting match. Could even say it was the match of the night. Even like they go crazy spots. Even this nasty spot of Sheamus on like the steel steps trying to jump over and do a kick to Braun Breaker. Braun hitting this nasty spear right into Sheamus, and then you had the whole ending sequence. Sheamus trying his move on Braun Breaker, his ribs hurt because of the spot earlier, them running back and forth trading, Braun Breaker going under the broke, coming out with a spear, and then hitting the 1, 2, 3. Braun Breaker retained his Intercontinental Championship against Sheamus. And overall, it was a great match, but still, one of my negative things about this was I hate that they keep teasing us with this thing, like, why are you going to keep putting him in matches when you keep like so many times they keep having Sheamus an IC title match be this close, don't win it. Like, when are you going to finally crown him? It's kind of like, how many times are we going to do this until we're finally going to crown the guy? And then the other thing too is probably with the feud was booked better, but those are kind of like my only negatives about the match. Everything else though, really fun time, really enjoyed the back and forth between two hard-hitting people. The match was fun, it was great, it was just a banger of a match, and Braun Breaker retaining his Intercontinental Championship. Then we get into the signing between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes for their match at the Royal Rumble. Shawn Michaels as your special person there, and to me it was kind of like you could have did this on a SmackDown, but also too I'm saying it was a pivotal moment. All the stories is understandable why you did it somewhere Saturday night's main event. Even though Cody and KO were doing great promos back and forth, I think we're all collective in our minds waiting to see, was Kevin Owens going to hit a pile driver on Shawn Michaels in his hometown? We were all thinking that, and we almost got that. Cody comes in, stops that, and then I'm always never going to be mad I'm not seeing sweet chin music on Kevin Owens. Hits him with that pretty alright moment for a contract signing. It was doing a packable thing. It still makes you very excited to see what they are going to do at the Royal Rumble match, in their ladder match. It makes you more excited, and overall it was a pretty good overall contract extension moment that they had between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. Then we get into Jacob Fatu versus Braun Strowman, and before we get even to the match, Jacob Fatu is one of the best on the microphone, cutting one of the greatest promos ever. When he's going to the ring, the promo was just so good, coast to coast and all the other stuff he was saying. And then this match, which is basically, there wasn't much of the best between the two, but what happened leading after the match was because they basically gave Jacob Fatu Bronson Reed. Remember what they did with Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed? That moment was so great. You had it where, because you have it where after Braun Strowman is dominating Jacob Fatu, Jacob Fatu's finally get the advantage and get over Braun, and then it's hitting these hip attacks, running at him, hitting these hip attacks constantly, the ref trying to check him, and then, Jacob Fatu's like, you know what, throws out the ref calls a DQ, and it's absolutely keeps hitting these things on Braun. He had hip attacks on Braun Strowman is bleeding, gushing blood through the mouth, freaking keeps hitting these moves, and it's crazy too that Tama Tonga trying to be the voice of reason here, but no, it's about 1, 2, 3, and 4 moonsaults on Braun Strowman. It's almost like how Bronson Reed hit 6 tsunamis on Seth Rollins. The crowd was going crazy. Another one, one more. It was absolutely crazy, and it shows what an absolute monster Jacob Fatu is. And you kind of have a Jacob Fatu problem that is that he's just so good and just so great. This man has superstar, feature main eventer written all over him. He has future gold championship, multi-time championships written all over this, and this was the perfect way to shoot Jacob Fatu to the stratosphere. Overall, this was a great moment, an overall alright match, but a great moment of making Jacob Fatu into an absolute megastar. Gunther defending his World Heavyweight Championship against main event Jey Uso. And this was a big complaint for me. There was so many freaking commercials in this match, and it kind of killed the momentum of it sometimes. The match was alright in a certain moment, a lot of super kicks, chops, and other stuff, but I feel like the commercials were a big part of it too, probably because they were running out of time. But when we get after the final commercial, we didn't get that final sequence. It was all mayhem and almost made you believe that Jey was about to win, hitting about 3 finishers, 2 spears and an Uso splash, and Gunther kicking out 2.9999, and almost making you believe that Jey Uso almost had it. He was about to win it, but then of course you have Jey Uso trying to come for another spear. Gunther rolls it up into a powerbomb, and boom, 1, 2, 3, Gunther retained his World Heavyweight Championship. And it makes you wonder, well, first of all, what is next for Gunther? Who is he going to face? Where is he going after next? And then it's really he had to make Jey Uso make Gunther kick out of 3 of Jey Uso's finishers? Seemed a bit much, and I just kind of hate overall with this match is that they keep putting Jey Uso in these prominent positions to try to win a World Heavyweight Championship, because you know how over Jey Uso is, how much they want Jey Uso to win a world title, and how close he keeps on getting. But every time people see that he's in, of course they're gonna flock over and want to watch, but at the same time it's well, we know Jey Uso's gonna lose, we know it's gonna happen, and why it kind of sucks. You keep putting in these positions as fans want to see it, and it does kind of get worrying when he finally wins it. Are people really gonna be as hyped for when he finally wins it? Would the chase be better than him actually winning? I don't know. I just think overall with this match, it was that the overall sequence, it was an alright match, but the whole ending was a lot more entertaining and fun, because it really made you believe that Jey Uso might actually do it with a 2.99 kick out of Gunther. Gunther versus Jey Uso, it was alright. It was still an entertaining overall match. But Saturday night's main event was still an entertaining show. I still had fun, but if any of you ever missed out on it, it's not something crazy that you would miss, since everyone retained their titles. Hopefully next time Saturday night's main event, they really change some things up. I still had a great time with this show. It was a lot more fun than last year's show. Let me know down in the comments, what was your favorite match of the night, least favorite match of the night, and what was your overall rating of Saturday night's main event? Let me know down in the comments, and we're gonna have to see what's next for everyone after Saturday night's main event. And that's all from me. I'll see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.